Adele Hogan. I'm a senior at Monticello High School, and my dish is a candy bacon empanada served with maple bacon ice cream. Alright, so we're here at Fairway. I've got my 10% off for my meat, and we'll go on in and go get some ingredients for our recipe. We're here, this is the meat aisle of Fairway, so we've got different types of pork here for bacon, and bacon is my main ingredient for my recipe. And my family personally loves the hickory smoked bacon, so we're going to go ahead and get some of that. Alright, now we're in the baking aisle. I'm going to go ahead and get my flour. They've got different choices. I like the Fairway brand of the all-purpose flour, and that'll be for the pastry. This is the sugar. We'll need this for the ice cream. Okay, so we're in the syrup aisle now, and part of the candy bacon is the maple syrup, so let's go ahead and get some of that. We're going to pick up the kosher salt, and then some vanilla, and then we'll go down here, and we'll get some brown sugar. You'll need 1 package of cream cheese. Our last 2 ingredients are half and half, and heavy cream. I completed my shopping here at Fairway. The total was $31.43, and now we'll go home and start making our stuff. So we're back home now, and I already have everything prepared for the first instruction of the candy bacon. So we have our 12 pieces of bacon already cut in half. I have my maple syrup and my brown sugar already ready to go. So now we're gonna preheat the oven to 400 degrees. And while that's preheating, we'll grab the bacon, brown sugar, and the maple syrup. Sorry. So then what I do is I have 2 pans here. We have silpats.
Put the bacon side by side in 2 rows or more, just to get as close as possible to get as many pieces of bacon on each pan.
Alright, so this next step, we're going to have our maple syrup, and I have a rubber spatula like this, or brush, and then we're just going to drizzle all across like this. Same thing on this side. And then what we'll do is we'll take the brush and we'll just brush it just like this. Okay, so now that the maple syrup is already spread, I have some brown sugar here, and I just sprinkle a little bit like this. I like a lot of brown sugar just because it brings out the flavor a little bit more, gets that candy part of the bacon. So you can add as much or as little as you want. Just kind of cover all the strips like this. Okay, so now while the bacon is cooking, we're going to go ahead and set up the cooling rack. So I have parchment underneath, and we just use these like for cookies and stuff like that. So we'll just go ahead and get these set up. I'll just get out too, just to be safe. And the parchment is just there to make sure that the maple does not stick to the bottom.
Here we are flipping the bacon, moving it over to the cooling rack, and chopping it up into small bite-sized pieces and splitting it up into 2 separate piles.
The first ingredient is 2 cups of heavy cream. 2 cups of half and half. 3/4 cup of white sugar. 1 tablespoon of the vanilla. And then we'll do a 1/2 teaspoon of the salt. And we're basically just going to give that a quick little whisk. And then we're going to let the sugar dissolve. And after the sugar is dissolved, we'll make the ice cream. Okay, so the next step of the ice cream making is you're gonna want to start churning it and freeze it. So I have a KitchenAid attachment, so basically it'll just attach right here, lift it up, and we'll whisk all the ice cream, and that's how we'll make our ice cream. You can make ice cream a different way, whether you have a separate ice cream maker or if you want to make it a different way as well. There are different options out there. And I would just, as it's stirring, I would add the maple syrup, and then I have 2 stacks of bacon right here that I chopped up. I'll put one pile in with the ice cream, and the other pile we will save for later. After the ice cream is thick enough, you can put it in a sealed tight container. I'm just using a leftover ice cream thing, and you want it to be about this thick in consistency. And if you want to, you can serve it right now as a soft serve ice cream, or you can store it in the freezer for as little as 3 hours to up to as many hours as you want. All right, part 3 of making this recipe is the pastry. So we're gonna add 2 cups of flour, and we're gonna sift that in. And then we're gonna add 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt. And then we're going to mix that together. And then we're going to make like a small little indent or a small little well. So how I do it is I just take a spoon. So I kind of just pinch a little in the middle, just like that. Now we're going to take a ½ cup of vegetable oil, a ½ cup of water. Mix that together. Do not stir this. And then we'll add this to the flour mixture. Now we'll gently stir it together. And you'll keep stirring until it becomes a dough-like mixture. So now I'm just going to knead it out a little bit. Add a tiny little bit of flour. So now we're just going to separate them into 2 little balls. We have our 2 balls separated. I've got 2 pieces of wax paper, one on bottom and one on top. And then we'll just roll it out until it's about the thickness of a pie crust. Now that that's rolled out, okay. So now we're going to take, this is about a 4-inch round circle. If you don't have this, you can use a cup as well or something else. So then, just like you would a sugar cookie, you want to get to the edges as much as you want. And you're just going to keep on doing this until you've reached both
And then we'll go into the other one. Same thing here. And you can always repeat the process if you have extra dough. Alright, so now we're going to do the filling for the cream cheese. I already did the step before that, which was plugging in your frying pan with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. That's just to start. I'll talk about that later. So for the filling, we have our 4 ounces of cream cheese. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and the candied bacon. And mix it all together. Okay, so now that we have everything ready, you're going to take a little spoon, about half a teaspoon maybe. You're just going to rub it right here in the middle. And then fold it like a crescent moon. And then I take a fork and pinch it. And I do it on both sides just to ensure that it is sealed tightly. And then we're going to repeat the process until all of them are pinched. And then once they are pinched, we'll throw them in the fryer. Okay, so as you're frying the empanadas, you want to make sure that the vegetable oil, is covering a little bit like by the ends. And you want to make sure that they're golden brown on one side. So I already flipped a couple of them. And just to ensure, it may take longer than 5 minutes depending on how hot your oil is. Right now mine is at 325. So if you need to add a little bit more oil, like I said, you'll probably have to add a little bit more. So we're just going to do that. And as soon as you flip them over, and they're done on both sides and they're done on the inside as well, you can take them off and we'll put a paper towel over top of them and we'll let them let the grease soak up so they're nice and clean. Okay, so the paper towel is off. This is an optional choice. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I've got some powdered sugar in here. I'm just going to take a couple of them and I just sprinkle a little bit on as like a fun little topping. I personally think this gives it a little bit more of a sweet flavor. I'll do it on both sides. And there you go. And that completes the recipe. I loved making this recipe and I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And in these next few videos, I showed my family and they tasted the recipe for the first time. So my little sister Claire's the first video. She helped me videotape this whole thing, so a little shout out for her. My brother Caleb, who is the pork ambassador for Iowa. My dad Dominic, and my mom Karen. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Thanks. Alright, Claire, let's see you try it.
That's delicious.
Ice cream with bacon tastes very good. And the empanada tastes good.
This looks really good, Adele. Yummy. Mmm. Oh, that crust is really flaky. Wow.
What about the ice cream?
Very good. A hint of bacon and maple in it, maybe?
Absolutely.
Mmm. That's really good, Adele. You eat the bacon with it?
You sure can.
Mmm. That is really good.
This is very good, Adele. Very delicious, very bacony. Good job.